Good morning, all of you. In previous class, we had discussed about the topics space diversity antennas and also the umbrella pattern antennas, right? In umbrella pattern antennas, there are three types. Like a normal umbrella pattern antenna, broadband umbrella pattern antenna, and high gain broadband umbrella pattern antenna, right? There are three antennas, three types of antennas for umbrella pattern antennas. These are used for cell site antennas. That means these can be used at a cell site, right? These are different antennas. These discon antennas are comes under broadband high gain umbrella antennas, right? These are discussed in the last class. This is about the radiation pattern. Also, this is the high gain broadband umbrella pattern antenna. This is the formula for it. In today's class, this is about unique situations of cell site antennas. That means in cell site antennas, there are different issues related to how the maintenance of the cell site antennas can be taken place, and all these are discussed in this topic. One is antenna pattern in free space and in mobile environment. That means how can be the antenna pattern in free space, and how can be the antenna patterns in mobile environments. What is the criteria for this? This is one of the unique situation, and also the other one is minimum separation of cell site receiving antenna is also one criteria. In this antenna pattern in free space and in mobile environments, the antenna patterns which are used in the cell site are measured from antenna range. Okay. When an antenna is placed in urban environment and also the mobile antenna is lower than the height of the surroundings, then the cell site antenna pattern is different from free space antenna patterns. That means free space antenna pattern and cell site antenna patterns are have a difference when an antenna is placed in the urban environment, and also if the mobile antenna is lower than the height of the surroundings. That means if there is an hilly terrain or hill areas, if the mobile antenna is placed below the height of that area, below the height of the surroundings, then there is a difference between free space antenna pattern and also the cell site antenna pattern. Coming to the mobile radio environment, we have to follow certain considerations, right? The strongest signal strength of the directional antenna has to coincide with the strongest received signal. That means if the antenna received a strongest signal, which has to be coincidence with the strongest signal strength of the directional antenna. Right? Both have to coincide. This is one of the consideration of mobile radio environment. And also the pattern, that means the antenna pattern is distorted in an urban environment. That means in urban environments, the antenna patterns are distorted. That means they can be interfered with external signals, which has to be considered in the mobile radio environment. And the other one is, if a directional antenna is of 120 degrees, the back lobe of an antenna, of the directional antenna, is around 10 decibels less than the front lobe. We are aware of that. The antenna has certain main lobe and side lobes. The same way, for a 120 degrees directional antenna, here we have shown in the figure, for a 120 degrees directional antenna, the back lobe is about 10 decibels less than the front lobe, right? These are certain considerations in the mobile radio environment. The mobile radio environment. And also the minimum separation of cell site receiving antennas. Minimum separation of cell site receiving antennas. This means the name itself indicates that the separation between two antennas is an important factor for receiving the signals and also to transmitting the signals. It will decide the quality of the communication, right? If the separation between two transmitting antennas should be minimized to avoid the intermodulation, right? That means the distance between two transmitting antennas should maintain very less distance to avoid the intermodulation. Intermodulation is nothing but the carrier signal and the message signal of one transmitter is interfering with the other signals, then there can be an intermodulation. It will affect the quality of the signal, right? And also the minimum separation between two receiving antennas is to reduce the antenna pattern ripple effect. Here the ripple effects are indicated in the circuit diagram. This is the minimum separation of cell site for the receiving antennas. Here the two receiving antennas are used for a space diversity receiver. Space diversity receiver, we already discussed this space diversity antennas in the last topic. These two antennas are used for the space diversity receiver. Due to the close spacing, that means if the space between two receiving antennas are very less, there will be a near field disturbance will be occur. That means the radiation effect will disturb the other antennas field, then there will be a near field disturbances occur. Due to this, a ripples will form in the antenna pattern. Due to this, the ripples will form in the antenna patterns. These are indicated in the circuit diagram. Whereas the difference in power reception, the difference in the power reception between two antennas is shown in the figure. The dotted line indicates the antenna A pattern, whereas thick line indicates the antenna B pattern, right? If the antennas are located nearer, the difference between the power, the difference in power between two antennas is increases, right? Right? This is about the minimum separation of cell site receiving antennas. Here, the greater the antenna separation, that means the distance between the two antennas is high, there is the two receiver signals will occur simultaneously. The chances of two receiver signals will occur simultaneously is very less. There are two types of separations. One is horizontal separation and the other one is the vertical separation. Here the two patterns are indicated. The dotted line is antenna A and also the thick line indicates the antenna B pattern. There is the power differences indicated there from the base station, right? And also the distance, separation distance D, it depends on the height of the antenna. The distance D is depends on the height of the antenna, which is nothing but H by D. The formula is H by D. This is about minimum separation of cell site receiving antenna, right? And also the other one is the regular check of the cell site antennas. That means we have to monitor the cell site antennas regularly and also to maintain effectively. This will then only the antenna will work effectively, right? To reduce the attenuation from the cable, air pressure cable is used. Air pressure cable is used to reduce the excessive attenuation in the cell site antennas, right? And also to check the cell site antennas, the power delivered to the antenna terminal should be measured regularly, and also the other method is to measure the voltage standing wave ratio VSWR at the bottom of the tower, right? You have to check the power delivered by the antenna terminal and also to measure the VSWR. This is second one, and third one is the air pressurized cable is used for decreasing the attenuation effect. For decreasing the attenuation effect, these have to follow at the cell set antennas instead of maintain minimum separation between the cell set receiving antennas. The other one is before going to the mobile antennas, the other unique situations of cell set antennas is apart from minimum separation and also the regular checkup of the cell set antennas. The other one is choosing an antenna site. That means we have to choose a reliable site for the antenna which has to cover the entire cell area effectively, right? For the selection of the antenna site, the point-to-point predictive method and also the Lee model we have discussed in the last unit at the cell coverage, right? It is a point-to-point predictive method which will, by using this, we will predict the total coverage area of the cell, right? By using this predictive method, the antenna site selection will be taken place for a effective coverage area of the cell. And also to reduce the interferences is also an important criteria while selecting the antenna site. You have to choose an effective cell site by considering the geographical area of that particular site and also to increase the effective communication with allocation of the less voice channel to maintain the communication of cell site very effectively, right? These have to follow while choosing an antenna site. Yet by selecting the cell site antennas, these steps has to be followed for better communication. Among this, one of them was minimum separation of cell set receiving antennas, minimum separation of cell set receiving antennas, and the other one is regular check of the cell set antenna. We have to check regularly the cell set antennas by measuring the power and also the VSWR and also by using air pressurized cables to minimize the attenuation effects at the cell site. Okay, and also by choosing an antenna site, the point-to-point predictive method has to follow for selection of the better geographical area to install an cell site antenna, and also by considering the effect of the interference by choosing an cell site antenna. Okay, these are regarding unique situations in the cell site antenna. Also coming to mobile antennas, there are different types of mobile antennas, out of which some of them are roof mounted antenna and also glass mounted antennas are some of the mobile antennas, and also mobile high gain antennas and horizontally oriented space diversity antennas. Vertically oriented space diversity antennas are some of the mobile antennas, right? Coming to the mobile antenna, so up to now we are discussing about the cell site antennas. And coming to the mobile antennas, the mobile antennas is mainly an omnidirectional antenna, which can be located as high as possible from the point of reception, right? That means major omnidirectional antennas are used for the mobile antennas. And also the antenna height is the major limitation in mobile antennas. Generally, the mobile antenna should be high when compared to the surroundings of the area. Okay. And also there is an antenna system at the cell site. Going back to the cell site, here is an antenna system is here, out of which an omnidirectional antenna and also a directional antenna, a coaxial cables, also the connectors, grounding kit, a cable hanger, ceiling adapter, and all this tower, right? There is around 20 items are there at the antenna system of the cell site. Okay. Coming to roof mounted antennas, this is the antenna pattern of a roof mounted antenna, which will be drawn by using a polar plot. These roof mounted antennas are distributed uniformly around the mobile unit, right? Which as shown in this figure, the distribution is spread around the 360 degrees more, which may be some angles there may be less, and some angles there may be more, but it will cover the 360 degrees because it is an omnidirectional antenna. Because it is an omnidirectional antenna, it will be uniformly distributed around the mobile unit. It is a 3 dB gain, roof mounted collinear pattern is one, and other one is roof mounted quarter wave antenna is one, quarter wave pattern is one, right? Generally, the cell site antennas are very high compared to the broadcasting antennas, right? It is having a 3 dB gain, the roof mounted antennas. Also, other one is the glass mounted antennas. This is a glass mounted antennas. In the glass mounted antennas, the energy is coupled through the glass. The energy is coupled through the glass. For that, there is no need to drill a hole in the antenna. There is no need to drill a hole in the antenna. There is a disadvantage in glass mounted antenna where the energy is dissipated through the glass, right? Generally, the gain of glass mounted antenna is around from 1 dB to 3 dB depending on the operating frequency. Depending on the operating frequency. Whereas the position of the glass mounted antenna is lower than the roof mounted antenna. Okay. The position of the, that means roof mounted antennas are placed above the glass mounted antenna. Generally, there is a 3 dB gain difference between these two antennas. The glass used in glass mounted antennas have high metal content. That means the glass has high metal content for a conduction of a signal, right? For the conduction of the signal. These are major type of mobile antennas, roof mounted antennas, and also the glass mounted antennas. Out of most, the glass mounted antennas have an advantage that no need to drill. That means the glass has to conduct the signal. The roof mounted antennas are placed above the glass mounted antenna. There is an antenna patterns which are shown in the figure. Right? This is about the mobile antennas. We are coming to the unique situations in cell site antennas. Unique situations in the cell site antennas. This is about the minimum suppression of the cell site receiving antennas. The other one is regular checkup at the cell site antennas. Is the other one, and third one is selecting the antenna site. These three are the unique situations at the cell site antenna. These three refer to the problems related to antennas, right? Whereas the antenna, selecting the antenna site is based on the point-to-point prediction model, which was discussed in the cell coverage, which is also called as the Lee model, which is used for prediction purpose about the signal coverage of the particular cell. this selecting of the antenna site will be considering to reduce the interference of the particular antenna is one of the major factors, and the other one is regular checkup at the cell site antennas. Regular checkup at the cell site antennas has to measure the power and also the VSWR for the continuous monitoring of the antenna, which will helps to improve the quality of the communication at a particular cell site, right? This is about the today's class, and about the mobile antennas and also the image situations of the cell site antennas, right?